Yo YouTube, welcome back to another video. As you can see, there's like 13 hours left for this tournament. So yeah, this is the strat we are going to be using. I want you guys to do this one. You need to have Albedo. She's a new unit, but you do need her because she is the 500% buffed unit. Plus she also accounts towards Ainz's passion spell and also another curse unit. So basically allowing you to take out the goat summons plus also Aura of the Overlord. In terms of team setup, this is what we're running. In terms of memorials and stuff, let me replace a random team like right here. So yeah, ignore the familiars and then the memorial traits, but you can see running Peak of Shinobi on Ainz, Shackled Sights on Uma, Enthusiast Walk on Albedo. She is Ascension 3, make sure you get Ascension 3, it should be very easy to get. And then Golden Obsessions on Nami, Enthusiast Walk on our Power, and of course King of Trash on our Shanks. The reason for King of Trash is because, as you can see, Shanks needs to crit to apply the Rupture. So, because it is immunity, he can't stun and apply he's not guaranteed crit, so he needs to have a 10% chance to start and a crit via the Memorial, which gives him a 10% chance. So he has a 10% chance to crit, and upon critting, he'll Rupture. So, you have to gamble on that, but you're not really you're not really utilizing him as much. You'll see what I mean. You're only like selling and replacing him, so you're able to get the Rupture off. Let's just get into the run. Alright, so I'm going to be placing Nami back there, and you can see on screen, I want you to select those spells and then restart the match. So that way, you can have those spells as soon as you place Irons. And when it comes to placing your Albedo, that's when you can reset your spells and you put Order of the Overlord as the first spell and keep those two spells at the end. That makes sense. So you're gonna place Uma in first. Get her mood to great, and then put 2 stats into the top. And then that's when you put the stats one by one into each. I wanna like make this short because I see like people, yeah, they just auto Uma or they forget about the mood. I've seen a lot of people get confused about that, you know what I mean? There was this one TikTok person I saw in it, so yeah. So I'm guessing if that one TikTok person is also confused, a lot of other people will be confused as well. But ideally, I wanted to place at the front for this tournament, but placing at the front was kind of frustrating because these enemies, they have Revitalize, and you don't really have a consistent bleeder in terms of like an Alucard because his range will be very low and he won't really be worth bringing into this team because you need Acid Rain from Irons to get a decent amount of extra damage and to deal with the people who have shields, because once the dismantle puppets break down, those guys will spawn with shields, and if you don't take off the shields quick, they're gonna respawn and go back into the original enemy type they are. You have like a 3-second window to kill them off once they break down into the singular puppet. So that's why we need our irons on Acid Rain, so we can do that. And you can see here, I'm gonna get this Nami chest, and I'm gonna place one Albedo next to irons. You'll see what I mean. But I think I placed this irons in a bad spot. I do move him slightly to the right, you'll see. I check his max range, and since he's gonna gain 20% more range, I move him a bit more forward to the right, you'll see. So he gets moved like up there to the right slightly. And then I place Albedo, making sure Albedo has irons in her range, so irons gets that affection. Then I pick Aura of the Overlord, Acid Rain, and Supreme Summoning. And then I'll reset spells and select those spells. So you got those 3 spells now as your main spells. And now you just keep doing your Uma stats as well. And yeah, you're gonna place another Albedo here, making sure that she's not really covering the whole track because she's gonna be losing 30% of her range. Because you can lose 50% from blinded and get 20% buff. And yeah, once that dismantled puppet, the puppet that did leak, ends up breaking down, you're gonna quickly place 2 powers to kill that puppet off. And yeah, one thing that I want to make sure you guys do for the whole run is making sure that you collect Nami chests. I think this one I did forget, I'm not sure, but you want to make sure you're collecting Nami chests at all time because it's very important that you collect it. Because it adds up. Late game, you get so much more yen from the army chest and it's very valuable for your run. And yeah, if you guys did not see, you want to make sure you put one upgrade into your albedo, then max your irons, so he has the 5% discount. And at that point, you can just auto upgrade him and just let him fully upgrade until, of course, he's maxed out. He is going to be the first unit you max out, because with that Murderer Memoria, plus the buff he has, plus also having power, he will get like so much, such a high overhead, and he will just do like 1,000,000 damage, Traitless, which is kind of crazy, you know. And yeah, the two things that you want to be doing while auto upgrading your units is collecting army chests and doing your EMA stats. Those are the two most important things. That's all you really have to do. And you're going to place your first power in a way where she has all these other units in range. She's going to have 0.9 range. So yeah, as long as she has the albedo at the bottom, the one that is with the affection, in range, that's perfect. So you can place like that. And yeah, once you get her to max upgrade, she'll get an ability which allow her to get 20% more range. So she does 0.9 range, that power, or 0.9x multiplier. And yeah, this boss you don't really have to worry at all because your albedo will be doing 100% more damage to that boss. So roughly with the 1.9 million damage she has, she's basically doing 3.8 million per hit. But plus, because she's also a curse unit, she's doing 30% more on top of that. So it's like 4 point something per hit on the boss, which is kind of crazy. And yeah, as you can see, this boss should not be causing any issues at all, because even if he does get past you and regens a lot, you have your 2 iron summons at the back, he will just kill it off so easily. At this point I get power maxed as my next unit, and I use ability, so she's buffing all these units. That being our Uma, Albedo, then Albedo next to her, and the Albedo here, plus also our irons. Because she has a lot of range per enemy that is bleeding, so when you have 10 bleeding enemies in her power's range, she gives a 50% buff, so it's very nice to have. And I set this Albedo over here, set the closest. And at this point I could be maxing my Uma, but I'll wait a bit more until I get more discounts. And yeah, at this point the wave 30 boss might cause you some issues. This is the one where you need to focus slightly, wave 30 and 40 boss. In this run total, you only see 4 bosses, because when we get to wave 50, well, wave 49, we're going to be rewriting to wave 41, so the wave 40 boss gets ignored. And you want to get the other Albedo maxed out and set it closest as well. And as you can see for this boss, I'm utilizing Shanks to sell and replace to apply Rupture to him. I want to get on as early as possible. And at this point I think I do get the Rupture. And you could still follow it, but I chose not to, and it was a mistake because the enemies around don't have Rupture. So you'll see there's a lot of times when this boss gets revitalized, so I want you guys to follow with Shanks at all times. And I set all my units to bosses, the both Albedos, all the bosses to bosses. And yeah, that way you should be able to kill the boss. It does get very like close, but you're able to kill it off very easily. And I get this power max as well, just so I have some bleed on the boss as well, just to make sure no other enemy revitalizes it. And yeah, it's pretty much that boss dead. The wave 40 boss is the main issue you will have, I guess. And yeah, last but not least, you want to get this power maxed, because she is your final unit. You do need to be max upgraded. And yeah, as you can see, the mobs are not really an issue right now. It should be fine. And you want your Uma to be maxed at ideally wave 37, but if there is some failures, it could be wave 38 or wave 39. Make sure all your powers are on auto, because it gives them more range plus more damage. And yeah, once your Uma is maxed out, it should pretty much lap the whole map around like 6 seconds, something like that. Maybe it's 6 to 8 seconds. But yeah, at this point, all your units are max. You want to just keep collecting army chests just to make sure. And you'll see my wave 40 boss kill is very slow in terms of like, it gets very close. It can be a lot easier because I've had runs here in the past where I've been able to kill it very easily. It's just dependent on how well you deal with the mobs around the boss. Because if the boss revitalizes, it does affect your run a lot. Because you should be doing a lot of damage before your Iron's summons even hit in the first place. So yeah, wave 41, the boss should spawn, and he has a 120 million HP, which is killable, but you have to make sure you're fully... In this case, I would say, I would of course apply Rupture, but I want you guys to sell one of your powers in the middle, and just follow the boss with power and strength at the same time. That way you can have bleed and Rupture being applied, and that way you can kill the boss. You'll see what I mean. So it's already at like 120 million HP, but you'll see it get revitalized at this point, around here. Boom, back to 130. And then revitalize again. It's gonna go back to whatever it goes back up to. And one mistake I did make was not putting my albedo. The boss is the one that's the closest. So you're gonna set the 2 albedos to your strongest, or bosses actually, and you can see I did a lot of damage to this boss. But you're gonna make sure that it's slightly lower than this HP at this point. I do max my shanks at the back just to ensure a bit more extra damage, as you can see. And that extra damage did help. You're trying to get a bit more extra damage. It might not be a lot, but it does help. And yeah, you can see Umar came in last second to save the day. I was so scared I would die, but I was able to kill it off, so it's fine. And yeah, at this point, I'm just making sure that I apply Rupture to all enemies, just constantly moving shanks around. And at this point, the leak should not really kill me. I set all my units the closest. Well, main units are, of course, the 2 albedos at the back. You want to set them back to the closest. And yeah, at this point, it's just about dealing with the enemies. That's all you have to do. Not much you have to do. Just chill, you know. And as soon as wave 49 hits, 12 seconds into it, that is when you rewrite to wave 41. 41, by the way, not 40. 41. So yeah, it's about to approach wave 49, and you can see the leaks are getting quite bad, you know. They're quite annoying to deal with. They're just frustrating to deal with because you can see at points here, they're gonna revitalize each other, and they just regen, and you know, just a lot of HP to deal with. But you just hover over this, put the number 41 in, and as soon as 12 seconds into wave 49, you just click rewrite wave. So count 12 seconds, or use the timers at the top to notify 12 seconds. And yeah, at this point, I just do it right now. And that's it. So now you just have to deal with the leaks. That's all you have to do. Deal with the leaks and you're fine. And you should be able to deal with them as long as you got iron summons and your Umas doing the job. I set this albedo at the very front, the closest to the front, to first, just so I can deal with the mobs that are stronger right now, because the wave 49 mobs are still near me. The wave 41 mobs are at the back, or spawning in right now. So you want to deal with these guys, just making sure that they don't get revitalized. You're not able to rupture them at all times, as you know it's a 10% chance, but you're gonna bet on that 10% chance. But you can see these guys do get killed off. There are points where they get very close, but if one leaks and hits your base, it's fine. As long as you don't die, you're fine. And yeah, at this point, you're... And yeah, at this point, it's just about surviving until wave 49. And as soon as wave 49 hits, when there's 5 seconds remaining until you finish the whole match, that's when you can just, what is it called again? Brain is tweaking. You can, not rewrite, use Ainz's goal of all life ability to end the whole map. And yeah, at this point I just place Shanks over here, set him to max upgrade, just so he hits a lot of enemies. Just that extra bit of DPS, not much, but you know, why not use it? And he's not gonna really rupture them consistently, but he is 6 hits on this upgrade, so you know, there's a chance he does rupture them. And yeah, as you can see, things should be very easy, so it's just 30 seconds left. As soon as you see the time hit 5 seconds left, you click Ainz's ability, the goal of all life. And you clear the whole map, and that's it for the strat. So if you enjoyed the video, I'd like you guys to like, subscribe, and yeah, I'm pushing to 9k subs, so if you guys are new around here, you know, just sub up. But yeah, that's it for the video, like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.